Okay guys, I'm going to make this as simple as I can possibly make it. The movement of this back arm and hand is the swing. In other words, if you can move this back arm and hand perfectly, you can have a perfect swing. We're looking at Miguel Cabrera, one of the top hitters in the game. I'm going to play this swing through a few times. I want you to just follow the back arm and hand. Notice how that back arm and hand move in a sidearm throwing pattern. Watch the elbow here. The elbow works up and then it works to the ball. But the hands are still here at the shoulder and the bat is stacked directly above the hands. So the elbow will work up and to the ball, but the hands, as you notice, are staying in about the same spot. And just as important, the palm is still facing out here at the pitcher, which keeps the bat here. We don't want to see that palm facing upward to the sky here. And again, our cadence is back, attack as the elbow works to the ball, and then finish as the arm throws out. Again, back, attack, and finish. And finish for that top hand means through contact with the ball, that top hand is getting over the top, and just after contact, that back arm extends. We must get that back arm extension and top hand over the top before we release the bat. Again, follow the back arm here and watch how Cabrera's back arm. Contact over the top, okay, extension, then release. That top hand must finish. So again, this loading, slotting, and finishing of the back arm is the swing. I really can't overstate that. You must feel that sidearm throwing action of that top arm, that back hand, is the swing. Feeling that top hand load, attack, and finish through the ball in a sidearm throwing pattern. Back, attack, finish. With that top hand getting over the top and extending through contact. Here's Dwight Howard, one of the most powerful hitters in the game. And again, we're going to focus on this throwing pattern of that back arm. Notice as that elbow turns up, then it turns down to the ball. You can see the elbow has slotted and you can see the palm still facing out here at the pitcher, which keeps our bat stacked right over our hands. You'll also see the elbow stays very bent. Again, we want that arm very bent as the elbow, or the back arm really, loads and slots. Stay very bent at the elbow. Now notice how the back arm throws out as he gets over the top and extended before release. So again, we take a look at the pattern. Load, attack. The elbow has moved up into the ball, but the hand, again, still in the same position. Okay, right in front of the shoulder, hand out at the pitcher. Okay, back, attack, and then that top hand throws through and over the baseball. You can also see here that strong front side as we've established that tilt of the torso. Again, we talk about tilting the torso, not focusing on overturning it. Here's New Orleans native, Jesuit graduate, the natural Will Clark. And again, we get the same pattern, the good throwing pattern of that back arm. The elbow works up, and the elbow works into the ball. And when the elbow slots, it's very bent. The bat is stacked on top of the hand, and that top hand is still at the shoulder, ready to fire, with the palm facing out towards the pitcher. And note how the hands finish through contact. the lead arm extending, the back arm extending and getting over the top. Here's Ivan Rodriguez, one of the best hitting catchers of all time. Again, watch the back arm. Load, attack, and again we have that bent slotted elbow, palm out at the pitcher, barrel stacked above the hands. And then that top hand finishes the throw from the shoulder. Back, attack, finish. Here's Albert Pujols. Again, we get the elbow lifting, slotting to the ball, barrel staying stacked over the hands, palm at the pitcher, elbow very bent, and then that top hand finishes the throw. You can really take note here of the throwing movements of that back arm. Watch how he's really making a nice sidearm throw of the barrel behind the baseball. Back, attack, finish. You can really see that back arm extending and getting over the top through contact. That back arm really finishing off the throw every time. The loading, slotting, and finishing of the back arm is the swing. It controls the movement of the barrel. The legs working against the ground provide that movement with power. The movement of the legs is very simple. Remember, the purpose of your stride is all about the back leg. When we lift our foot, this back leg is loaded. When we laterally or sideways unload the leg, that's what puts the foot down. So loading the back leg pulls it up, unloading the back leg puts it down. Okay? You really want to be back leg oriented. Think about your back leg and not worry about your front side. In other words, just by getting your back leg ready here, that's automatically going to bring the foot up. Okay? And that's going to happen right before the pitcher lets go of the ball every time. Okay? Whether you swing or not, every pitch you see for the rest of your life, right before release, you get that back leg ready. Okay? And when you get that loaded, that's going to automatically, your body's going to bring that front foot off the ground. Okay? And then when the ball is about halfway home, okay, that back leg makes a sideways attack of the pitch. Okay? So again, it's back, attack, and it works with the elbow, the leg working just slightly ahead of the back arm. Okay? But when we train them, we're kind of training them together. Okay? So again, back leg and back elbow load, back leg, back elbow, attack. It's very important to understand that this should be a sideways movement, from the back leg. We're not trying to spin here. Notice how when Cabrera lands, how the toes are still pointing straight ahead, how his shoulders haven't turned, his hips haven't begun to turn open. Okay, so when he starts off, in his stance here, you see how everything's square, foot is square, everything's square. Okay, then he just gets his back leg ready. Okay, he loads it, and then he attacks the pitch sideways with the back leg. Okay, everything pressing sideways, and when he lands, that front side is in the same position it was in when he started. In other words, the foot is still square, the knee is bent but firm. Okay, the hip is still square, the shoulder is square. So again, this is a sideways move. Okay, just a load and a sideways move to the ball here. Okay, and again, really thinking about the back leg here. Really simply loading and then laterally or sideways attacking the ball into and against that front side. And again, note the toes straight ahead and the square front side. We're not trying to force the body to spin. Again, focus on the back leg here. Back, and then a sideways attack. Notice how the feet still straight ahead, the body still square. Back leg pulls it up just before release. Back leg attacks laterally, sideways, and puts the foot down. Back, attack. You can really see the back leg putting the foot down there. And again, feet virtually straight ahead at that point. Back, attack. Again, the body's square. We're not trying to spin our feet. Back, attack. Back, attack. Back, attack. Back, attack. Back, attack. Back, attack. So we're going to combine this perfect throwing action of the back arm, this back, attack, and finish of that back arm, with the perfect movements of the back leg, which are going to supply the upper body with the energy and the power. And again, we're going to control our feet with our back leg. We're going to load right before the pitch is released by the pitcher, and then we're going to laterally or sideways attack. Okay, so again, it's back, attack, and you can really see that back leg driving sideways into that front side. Again, front side still square, feet, toes still pointed straight ahead. Okay, again, look at that back foot and really see the sideways movement, the driving action. And again, I can't stress this enough. You don't try to rotate. When this back leg drives laterally, okay, when it attacks, that's what's going to put the front foot down. After the back leg drives energy into this front side, the front leg is going to open the hip from the front without you trying to turn. Okay, so we get this sideways pressing action here. The front leg lands, and now the front hip is driven open. Okay, and that's what's going to pull the upper body around. But just before we hit the baseball, we want to crack the whip. Okay, and what this means is our shoulders stop turning. Okay, and we really feel our hands snap through the ball. Okay, and this is why on the finish part of the swing, we want to feel more tilt of the torso, this feeling of the torso tilting back, okay, and less turning of the shoulders. Okay, this is like that, throwing the water out of the bucket example that I use. Okay, you have to brace up and then crack the whip through there. You can see Adrian's shoulders, they're turning. I'll slow it down a little bit. Turning, 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 turning. Okay, but then as he gets to here, those hands really snap through in the shoulders. You can really see the shoulders slow down. Look at the shoulders, how they're not moving much through there. Okay, that's the crack in the whip. And what you want to feel is, again, we go back to that throwing arm. Okay, you want to feel that throwing arm finish through contact. And again, that means it's going to make contact, then it's going to extend and get over the top. Okay, we're having a lot of swings where our shoulders are still spinning too much through contact. This is the action we want through contact here. Okay, the hip is going to pull the shoulders around, but it's our ability to brace up and fire our hands through the ball that's going to give us the most bat speed, the best swing, the most power. So again, as we load this backside and as we attack laterally into and against this front side, we want to feel like this front side is a solid wall that we're hitting against or hitting behind. We want to hit behind that wall. Okay, and you can see how Adrian really, finishes his hands behind that wall. Everything stays behind that wall. Okay, so again, we go back, we attack, but then we hit behind that wall. Okay, so again, it's back, attack, and then we have our two rules on our finish, and that is we're going to stay tilted here at the front hip joint. Okay, we're going to tilt here. Okay, we're going to stay tilted, and we're going to finish that top hand. Okay, so it's back, attack, 2 rules on the finish: stay tilted, finish the top hand. Again, the 2 rules on the finish: stay tilted, finish the top hand. Stay tilted, finish the top hand. And that really is a good swing thought to have in games while you're at the plate, is that stay tilted, stay behind the front side, and finish the top hand. You should rep your footwork enough to where that's automatic, and then your only swing thought is staying behind that front side and finishing that top hand every time through contact. Remember, that back arm, that top hand, that is the swing. You must get through, extension, and over the top every time with that back arm. Here's a little one-arm movement. This is one of my professionals that really does encompass the whole swing. If you can do this, you can have the perfect swing. First of all, look at the throwing pattern of the back arm. The elbow, again, as we just kind of let it play through here, the elbow works up to the ball, and then that hand finishes, okay? Meaning, again, as we play it back, that elbow is going to work up, okay? It's going to slot in, okay? The palm stays up, barrel stacked over the hands, okay? And then on the finish, that hand is going to get contact over the top, and then we're going to get extension out of that arm, okay? Again, if we look at the footwork, okay? Back leg, there's a very simple back attack to the back side, okay? So again, very simple, and then you can easily see the tilt on the front side. As he really maintains, as he gets into that front side, that tilted front side. And again, on the finish, we have 2 rules: stay tilted and finish your top hand. And again, we want more tilt than turn. And you can see here, Mark is really finishing that hand without letting the shoulder fly open. So we're not getting, he's cracking the whip here. We're not getting that excessive shoulder turn, okay? Okay, there's a bit of a, we're really fighting shoulder turn here. We really want to learn to control that. There's a bit of an exaggeration on this. Shoulders probably turn a little more than that in reality. But this is the drill. If you can perform this drill, get the throwing pattern down with that top hand. Get the throwing pattern down. Back leg, back, attack. You're staying square with your feet. Okay, and you're staying tilted on that front side, really learning to throw against or behind that strong front side. So if you can perform this movement, you can have the perfect swing. Okay, again, you map out that throwing arm, and then you put the simple 1-2 move with that back leg. Again, 1-2. Okay, watch the back leg, back, attack. Feet are staying straight ahead. You're staying tilted and finishing that top hand as you finish, hitting behind that wall on the front side.